7 banned kids' toys. And number 7 will surprise you. Some kids' toys were so dangerous, they basically doubled as weapons. From exploding chemistry sets to literal flaming rockets in your backyard. Here are 7 banned kids' toys that probably never should have existed. And number 7's really going to surprise you. Lawn darts, or otherwise known as jarts, were basically weighted metal spears you threw high into the air. The goal was to land them in a ring on the ground. In reality, they landed in yards, on roofs, and sometimes little Timmy from next door. Really, this is more serious than you'd think. Serious injuries and even a fatality was recorded, and subsequently they were banned for home use in the U.S. In the 1950s, there was a kid's toy called the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab. It came with real radioactive samples and a Geiger counter, so kids could, experiment at home. Nothing says fun afternoon like lightly irradiating your living room. It didn't stay on the market very long. Aquadots were colorful beads that kids could arrange and then fuse together with water. The problem? The coating on the beads turned into a chemical similar to a date rape drug when ingested. Kids who swallowed them got sick and the toy was recalled worldwide. Turns out, don't eat your toys needed to be taken more seriously. This kit was sold to kids to let them dust for fingerprints, like TV crime scene tests. The issue? The powder in some sets contained asbestos fibers. Yep, literal asbestos in a toy marketed as educational fun. It was pulled after tests exposed the risk. Sky dancers were those fairy dolls you launched by pulling a string so they spun into the air. They looked magical until they smacked kids in the face. Reports came in of eye injuries, broken teeth, and cuts from out-of-control flying dolls. Eventually, they were recalled for being a little too violent for a fairy. Clackers were 2 hard acrylic balls on a string that kids would swing so they'd smack together. They made a real satisfying clack until they sometimes, shattered into really sharp shards at high speed.
Punch it!
Small toy, big shrapnel. Many versions were banned or redesigned with softer materials. And before I get to number 7, please take a second and hit that like button. And subscribe to WTF so you won't miss the next list of things that were pretty strange. The Easy Bake Oven. Well, it itself wasn't banned, but one modern version was recalled after hundreds of kids were burned. The updated design had a smaller front opening that could trap tiny fingers inside the heating chamber. Kids got serious burns, and at least one child needed part of a finger amputated. Hasbro ended up recalling nearly 1 million units and redesigning it again. So even one of the most iconic, innocent-looking toys on the shelf came with a very not-so-sweet side. Those were 7 banned kids' toys that probably never should have hit the shelves. Oh, and here's your bonus fact. A toy that shouldn't have probably hit the shelves was one called Incredible Edibles. It was a toy sold by Mattel. It was a series of circular molds into which gobbledygook, a gelatin-based gel, was squeezed into a form and placed into an oven and baked into a rubbery soft candy in the shape of worms, insects, and flowers. It came in 6 flavors: licorice, mint, butterscotch, cherry, root beer, and cinnamon. Problem was, kids didn't often wait for the hot lava-like liquid to cool down and suffered serious burns to the hands, face, and mouth, which led to the product's downfall. That and all the complaints that the cooked candies tasted horrible. Nowadays, though, Incredible Edibles refer to something completely different. Did you have any of these growing up? Tell me which ones in the comments, or which one even freaks you out the most. And I'll see you right here next time on the next episode of 7 Strange Facts, right here on WTF.